Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So I'm sweaty because I just got finished working out and I'm just sitting out here enjoying the weather before I go pick my kids up. But I just wanted to come and conclude the boundary conversation and talk about our last two boundaries, which are intellectual and material. So starting with intellectual boundaries, these boundaries are placed around your thoughts, ideas, your conversations that you engage in. So say for example, if you are in the presence of someone who is belittling your ideas or your thoughts, you can put a boundary in place to say, I'm really big on individuals respecting my thoughts, my ideas. You don't have to agree with me, but at least respect and don't belittle me. And this belittling, it kind of looks like, you know, they're not listening, but also it's not constructive criticism. It's more so like someone tearing your idea down, right? So we're open to receiving constructive criticism, but if you feel like, okay, I have these ideas, these thoughts, but they're always downplayed or minimized, that may be a good place to set an intellectual boundary. This also includes deciding which conversations you want to engage in and kind of use your intellectual resource in. So say for example, if say for example you do not like to conversate about politics, and you say, you know, usually when I conversate about politics, you know, individuals get mad, it doesn't end well. So I'm going to place a boundary and I'm going to say, if I do conversate about politics, it's going to be for a short period of time, or I'm going to not talk about it altogether, or I'm going to get out my intellectual thoughts about this on a blog somewhere, right? So just setting intellectual boundaries in places where your thoughts, ideas, and conversations are respected, where you feel appreciated there, and where there is positive feedback, and even if the feedback is not positive, it's at least constructive, right? And then the last one are material boundaries. So when we think about materials, another way to put this is your resources. What are your resources in life? So that may look like your time we talked about, but like your car, your house, your clothes, like, and sometimes we have to set boundaries around those things, because some people will come in and use those things for themselves. Remember, one of the purposes of a boundary is so that we don't feel, you know, exhausted, drained, used. So maybe if you're like, you know, I always feel like I'm lending my car out, and it's coming at the expense that sometimes I need my car and I don't have my car because I'm lending it out all the time. So that may be a place where you may need to put a material boundary, because you've seen kind of time and time again, you are giving it freely, but it's not there when you need it. So I'm not saying don't be helpful. I'm not saying don't be there for others. But if you're noticing a theme or a pattern of behaviors, and you're like, I'm noticing that when I need my materials, when I need the things that I pay for, I can't seem to get them, right? Or I feel like others are coming in my life and using up all my materials, and it's nothing left for me to use, right? So materials can be cars, houses, clothes. Say you may have a material boundary of, if a person just came in your life and they want to ask to hold your car. I don't know why car is my example today, but it's car. Say if they want to use your car, you may say, hey, you know, I usually don't let people who I just met use my car. You know, that's just one of my boundaries that I uphold, right? And once again, we are responsible for setting our boundaries. We are not however, responsible for how someone receives our boundaries. How they receive our boundary will let us know if they're going to be respectful in our lives, or if maybe, you know, they're not meant to be in our lives for that time or for that season or at all. Okay, so a good exercise for this boundary, the material boundaries, is writing down what you already have in your hand. So writing down your car, your whether it's your house, your apartment, what are your resources, what are your materials that you have. And another question to ask yourself when you write those things down, am I giving so much so of this material that it's no longer my own? If you say, for example, your apartment, if you are letting others occupy and use your space way past the time that they said that they were going to access your apartment, then it may be time, if not for a boundary, to seek clarity. But usually what happens, or sometimes what happens, is that we give when it comes to our materials, and we don't take for account how we never really get to appreciate our materials because we're always lending our materials out, or we're allowing someone access to the materials that we do have. Okay, and once again, boundaries are not meant to keep people out of your life. Boundaries are meant for the right people to stay in your life, and for you to know, okay, this person is going to be in my life, they're going to respect me, they're going to hear me out, they're going to see me as valuable because I'm putting forth boundaries, and I can tell that they love me because they're abiding by my boundaries and they're respecting my boundaries. They're not running over my boundaries, and I know that, okay, we're going to have a healthy relationship because I'm respecting their boundaries and they're respecting my boundaries, and we have open communication. Okay, I hope this helps. Bye.